A very warm welcome once again. In fact, a very warm welcome back to the United Forum. Just got my intro a bit wrong there. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, once again, a very warm welcome to the United Forum. This is bringing you your latest Manchester United news, transfer news updates, and yes, bringing you your opportunity to voice your opinion now for the very first time in Sri Lanka. Now, plenty of transfer news this week. Unfortunately, we couldn't have the show last Friday. Still not feeling that good, and yes, I'm not. I did. In fact, I did not just wake up from my sleep. If you are looking at my right eye, it's actually swollen. I've got boiled due to the heat and causing difficulties, and that is why I do look a little sleepy. So just don't mind my eye there. But yes, I'm good to go for the show. Tonight, plenty of France news, like I told you. United being linked to players. United as usual. Once again, now this time, along with Eric Ten Hag coming into Manchester United, we did expect Manchester United to boost things up in the transfer window. In fact, we as Manchester United fans did expect United to see, to see change in United's methods of transfers. Uh, we expected United to be going even more faster in deals, to be completing deals quicker than they have been. But in fact, it has been the same old story. It has been the same old ways for Manchester United again and again and again and again. We have just been linked with players. We have interest in players. We have been this with players, that with players. But the transfers, the deals just don't seem to be completed. United just don't seem to be getting these deals over the line as well. We don't see the player holding that shirt up. We don't see contracts being signed. It's just personal terms being agreed. We have been linked. We have been inked. We have been reduced, seduced, beat everything. You did see that meme. If you have seen that meme as well, United starting loan for next year's season is going to be. Uh, in fact, let me just read that out to you as well because got it with me. The funny thing is that United's now look at this. Look at this. Now this basically sums up United's transfer strategy this summer, and not just this summer as well. It has been the same throughout United's history. Now United's starting 11 for next season is being monitored is one player, seduced is another, considered is another, open talks, interested, mentioned, prioritized, Maguire, targeted, admired, and discussed. Now, this meme has been coming out this season. Is well, I did see just a few days back as well, but this just sums up United's transfer strategies, not just this summer, but throughout the past few years. United have always been linked to players. United have always been interested with players, approached players, but they never get the deals over the line. You look at the likes of Liverpool, you look at the likes of Manchester City, they have been linked to players, they have approached players, they agree their personal terms, and within 1 or 2 weeks you get the deal over the line. You look at the way they got Manchester City got that Erling Haaland deal done. They were linked, they approached, personal terms agreed, contract signed, player deal done. Liverpool and Darwin Nunez linked, approach, bid made, contract signed, done deal. United linked, approached, and then 1 day before the season, personal terms agreed, contract signed, and then yes, player done deal and over the line. Now, once again, there was an interesting conversation between Frankie de Jong and a media personality from the Netherlands, if I'm not wrong. This is after the Nations League. Now, what this, let me just bring that out to you as well to give you a proper brief on that. Uh, Now, what the media did ask Frankie de Jong is that are you leaving the beaches for the cold of Manchester? Is what Frankie de Jong was asked, and now what de Jong did say is, I think no, I can't say anything. Is what I think no, I can't. I can't say anything is what Frankie de Jong did say. Now, is this a hint from Frankie de Jong saying that yes, he is moving out of Barcelona? Now, I very much think that Barcelona will be needing a few outgoings in order to get out of their financial situation. And I think one way they could get that money they need is Frankie de Jong being sold. And now the only club that is interested to Frankie de Jong is Manchester United. Yes, I know that I have been repeating this throughout a few episodes. The thing is, when it comes to United and transfer windows, it's the same thing that he's been recycled again and again and again and again and again. So not just my podcast. In each and every podcast they would go to, be it United, you would see it's the same old Frankie de Jong news that has been recycled again and again and again and again and again. Apart from that, United have been linked to players, but players who really don't seem to be coming to Manchester United, unlikely players we have been linked to. Now, United have also been linked to Sangare, which I will get back to later, but let's go on with the Frankie de Jong transfer now. De Jong was asked a question, that was his reply. So De Jong is also slightly hinting out that yes, he has his sights on a move to Manchester United. I think he does know the financial situation in Barcelona. Now people talk about pursuing De Jong, to the fact that we have to go and convince De Jong to come to Manchester United, and we shouldn't be doing this. We should go for other players. Now the interesting thing, what I have to say is that United just had their worst Premier League season last season, and this is one of the worst United squads that have been there in Manchester United's history. So to convince a player of Frankie de Jong's caliber isn't a surprise. It's not just de Jong, the worst player you could go out there and get to United, you would have to convince, because this is the worst United squad you have got in Manchester United's history. We don't have Champions League football. We've only got Europa League football. That too, by the nick of time, we were saved by other teams and we did not save ourselves from it. And yes, we've had our worst Premier League season. We definitely have to convince players in the caliber of Frankie de Jong. Now, give you an example. If Jesse Lingard was in a team like West Ham and was not a Manchester United player, and if we had to get him to Manchester United, I say we would have to convince him as well. If Phil Jones was in another team and we had to get him into United this season, we would have to convince him as well, because that is where United are now. That is the pathetic situation Manchester United are in now. Now, there are also links, in fact, sources coming out and saying that Erik Ten Hag wants the De Jong deal to be done as quickly as possible for the preseason, because he wants Frankie de Jong for that preseason tour. Now, not just Frankie de Jong. I understand what Erik Ten Hag is saying here. Yes, he does want his player Frankie de Jong to be at United as soon as possible so he could get him for that preseason tour. Now, if I was Erik Ten Hag, it's not just Frankie de Jong I would need at Manchester United as early as possible, because I want him for the preseason tour. I would need each and every transfer, each and every player we have on our transfer list, we have planned to get this summer to Manchester United in before that preseason tour, because we need, throughout the past seasons, we've seen United go on until the last day, drag things until the last, get players to United, and then they don't have a preseason because they too have been waiting for a transfer. They've ran out of contracts, so they can't go for training with their previous clubs. They're free agents, and then United one day before the deadline, or an hour before the deadline, get the deal done over the line, and then these players don't have a proper preseason. Is that what we are going to see with Manchester United this season as well? Are we going to see Manchester United wait until the last 2 to 3 weeks and then get these transfers over the line, and then these players don't have a preseason, and then that would be the excuses throughout the season? We have a pathetic season, we have a poor season, and then at the end of the day, you see United come out and say, yes, we had a poor season because our players did not have a good preseason, and that led to our situation at the moment. Now, United can't be doing that this season because we have excuse me there. We have just finished the worst Premier League season we've had in Manchester United's history. We just have the worst Manchester United squad at the moment in Manchester United's history as well. The fans did expect United to have change in their strategies in the transfer window. We wanted to see deals being done over the line quite quickly, and then you've got these players who have just been linked to United and deals have not been done or got over the line. And it's not just the interesting thing about United this season. It's not interesting. It's actually I think United fans should be crying about, and not just United fans. Manchester United personally should be worried about this because we've not just got players in, we've not also got players out at the moment. Apart from Paul Pogba, who ran out of contract by the end of this season, who will be going to Juventus very soon. Nemanja Matic ran out of contract and he's in Roma right now. Juan Mata ran out of contract and yes, he's leaving. Just Lingard is out of contract, so he'll be leaving as well. Apart from these four players, United have not got any outgoings done as well, which is very worrying as a Manchester United fan because you talk about these players waiting until the last. You talk about United, in fact, waiting until the last day to get deals over the done. We'll be starting our first training session in about 2 to 3 weeks, and if you take the whole squad being present at Old Carrington, it would take about 4 weeks. And we need about 5 to 6 players at United because that's where our squad, that's where the standards are at the moment. If we are to be competing for at least top four, we need at least 5 to 6. Mind you, I'm telling you, if we are to compete for Champions League football, we need at least 6 players in replace. In fact, we need at least 6 new players in this Manchester United squad. Mind you, 6 new players to compete for Champions League football because Manchester City isn't messing with anyone. They have got the Erling Haaland deal done. They'll definitely they also got Julian Alvarez done. They'll definitely get a few more deals done over the line as well. And then you got Liverpool, who have got Darwin Nunez deal done just like in a snap of a finger. They'll get a few other deals done as well. Chelsea, once their sanctions are being raised, they'll get a few deals done as well. In fact, Tottenham Hotspur are getting a few deals done as well. Hotspur have got the Perisic deal done. They're now being linked to Jed Spence from Middlesbrough, who was in loan at Nottingham Forest and did help Nottingham Forest get promoted to the Premier League. They're also being linked to Richarlison. Richarlison is definitely leaving Everton, and Tottenham Hotspur are being linked to Richarlison. And I think Richarlison would be a good Tottenham Hotspur would be a good move for Richarlison as well. So Spurs are moving. They've got a competent manager. They're finally being a competent club. Daniel Levy seems to be backing Antonio Conte as well. I think he's world class. He has got Champions League football. I definitely do think that they could challenge for a few titles. I wouldn't say the Premier League, but they would definitely challenge for a few titles. Liverpool would be challenging for titles. Chelsea would be challenging for titles. Manchester City would be looking to get a treble or a quadruple done as well. And mind you, I think Aston Villa too would be, challenging for European football as well. They've got Babacar Kamara done. They've got Diego Carlos done. They're also being linked to Luis Suarez now, who I think is still a class striker, though he is aging. And Manchester United are still sitting back with popcorn on their hands and watching movies, tweeting out about players working in the gym. Players working in the gym during preseason is a must. As a footballer, as a Manchester United footballer, the minimum we ask you to do is your personal training, and you shouldn't be tweeting these out. United players shouldn't be tweeting these out. England just had a pathetic match against Italy. I honestly don't regret the fact that I slept after halftime because that match was horrible. Yes, Harry Maguire played well, but that was England's B, C team, not the A team as well. It was not their first team. It was their second or third team, and Harry Maguire playing well, being a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's what he's supposed to be doing. He's the Manchester United captain. He should be the starting centre-back for England, one of the first names on the sheet. And to be posting what he posted on social media after a performance against the second team of Italy, you could say, is a disgrace on a Manchester United captain. That's what you shouldn't be doing. You just had your worst Premier League season, mate. And, teams are working on transfers, and there's United who are still just being linked to players, which is actually a worry. Alright, if it's just incomings that are being delayed, okay, you could say that, yes, this is what Manchester United are always about, but this shouldn't be an excuse. This transfer strategy should change. You did see Luis van Gaal coming out and saying, yes, Erik ten Hag has moved to Manchester United. When I was there, it was Ed Woodward in charge, and now it's Richard Arnold, so it could be a different narrative, is somewhat what he said. But that doesn't seem to be the thing, because it seems to be very much like Ed Woodward as well. Ed Woodward, when he was CEO, his incomings were almost a day before the transfer deadline. An hour before the transfer deadline was when his incomings did come in, and then the players did not have a a proper preseason, and then they use that as an excuse. That seems to be the strategy this time as well. And this time it's the same with the outgoings as well, apart from the players who have ran out of their contracts. We haven't seen any sales being done by United. You talk about Saga, you talk about Phil Jones, the Jesse Lingards, the Anthony Martials, the Eric Baileys, the Alexes, Diogo Dalot, be it any one of those Manchester United players, be it the whole squad, not one of those players have been either linked to a player from another team. In fact, have been linked to a transfer to another team, which is an absolute shamble considering Manchester United's current situation, because we need to be having sales and we need to be having incomings as well. We talk about getting a few transfers in and then the rest of the transfer window depending on our sales, but we don't have any sales, neither do we see these players being linked to any other teams, which is, like I told you, a shambles, and I've really got no words to tell you. It's actually horrifying to become a Manchester United fan at a time like this. And the funny thing is, just half an hour back, 33 minutes to be exact, Manchester United have been linked to Jude Bellingham. Now, mind you, that is the joke of the day. Jude Bellingham, a competent footballer, a defensive midfielder at Borussia Dortmund, who still has a contract for about 2 to 3 years, being linked to Manchester United. What makes United think? What makes these journalists think that these players would move to Manchester United? Manchester United, a club with great history, you would say. Mate, that was once upon a long time. This isn't the time to be talking about history. You should be working on the present. You should be winning trophies. You shouldn't be talking about history. History is history. Work on the present. You look at the cities. You look at the Liverpools. You look at the Chelseas. You look how they have transformed from where they were. Look into their new strategies. How competent they are. How consistent there. And United have been repeating the same mistake again and again and again and again and again. And what is actually worrying is that the fans have been tolerating this for years. I'm saying what I've got to say as a Manchester United fans. If you are in England, stop tolerating this. You've got to act. This is your club. This is Manchester United. Manchester United would definitely outlive you. And while you live, you want to watch that club succeed. While I live as a Manchester United fan, I want to see Manchester United lift titles. And when is that going to be? We as fans, we call ourselves Manchester United fans. If we are true Manchester United fans, aren't we supposed to act upon this? Aren't we supposed to be on the streets protesting in numbers and getting these people out of the club? It would take days, it would take years, but you as a Manchester United fan, I as a Manchester United fan should start acting. Go out there, start protesting. Don't make fun of it if it is just in small numbers. What you should actually be doing there is get out on streets and start protesting, because we might come out and say, yes, we have been protesting, but these idiots don't seem to be moving out. Keep protesting. Why have you been stopping? Did you see solutions to this? United were linked. United were literally in the Super League, and as a camouflage to get out of the rage of the fans, United gave us a good transfer window. That is over. Yes, we are happy we got a good transfer window and we are back to square one. This isn't how United should be acting. Just tweeting the fact that United have been poor during transfer windows is not enough. Just tweeting the fact that there have only been a few people at protest is not enough. You've got to act out. You've got to go there. You've got to have your presence there and change United. If you are a true Manchester United fan, go out there and act upon this, because it is you that is in England. It is us that is here. It is us together as Manchester United fans could change Manchester United. It's not Richard Arnold who would change Manchester United. It's not Joe Glazer who would change Manchester United. It's not the Glazer family that would change Manchester United. It is us, the fans, that run Manchester United. It is us that can change Manchester United. So help make change while we are here, because we want to see our club succeed. Now, getting back on the transfer news, De Jong's conversations with the media, like I told you, yes, he is hinting out on a move to Manchester United. I still consider him one of the best midfielders as well. I think De Jong to United would bring that essence of a world class midfielder which Manchester United have not had in a long time. I think along with Bruno Fernandes is one revelation we've seen in the past 2 seasons as well. I think he was a revelation for us because it's been a really long time we saw someone come and make an impact like Bruno Fernandes did. I think De Jong would be a delight to our eyes as well. I think would be a blessing to our eyes seeing a Manchester United shirt and to be doing what he does out there would be a blessing for us. And I think along with young Manchester United do need to go for another defensive midfielder because we do know that De Jong is not a defensive midfielder. I think in order to accompany to get the best out of Jong, we do need a defensive midfield. It'll be interesting to see who United would go for. I think for years and years and years we've been crying for the defensive midfielder. We've been playing the likes of McTominay, we've been playing the likes of Fred, Van de Beek at defensive midfield. It doesn't seem to be turning out quite well as well. So we definitely need to be going out for a defensive midfielder. Who would it be? I'm not quite sure. We lost the battle on Kamara. We've been linked to Sangare now. The interesting thing about Sangare is that any reliable source has not linked us to him. It's just rumors at the moment. Would United go for Sangare? I'm not quite sure. Would it be the type of transfer United would go for? In my opinion, no, because United have not been doing such transfers. What's United's type of transfers is what I would say is recognized players around the world who have that high profile in them as a proper quality player. United don't go out of their box, like the Manchester Cities and Liverpools, and sign players who are not that recognized and transform them into world-class players. That's what is the problem with United. But we do have James Garner coming in from Lona as well, but is he ready to play for that first team 90 minutes throughout? I'm not quite sure about that. And the other interesting transfer news we've got is that Anthony from Ajax is being valued at 50 million, and United, in fact, Anthony has been linked to Manchester United and valued and has been given a price tag of 50 million. Now, United are in need of a right wing as well. United are being linked to a forward. There is validation saying that United would go for a forward this time as well, and 100% United would go for another striker as well, is what Fabrizio Romano did say. Interesting to see who the striker would be, but apart from striker, the other option we've gone for is forward, considering in fact specifically a right wing, and we've been linked to Anthony from Ajax, who has been working under Ajax, in fact Eric Ten Hag as well. Now he's being valued at 50 million. I think he would be a good transfer. I would take Anthony, but apart from Anthony, if I was at Manchester United and if I was in charge of the transfers, what I would do is before I approach Anthony and before I as Manchester United uh, uh, excuse me here, the one in charge of transfers, before I would go for Anthony, what I would do is I would go for Rafinha, because I think Rafinha is a much more better player. He is proven. He has been at Leeds United, which is one problem we have, because since he is at Leeds United and since Leeds do consider us rivals, would Rafinha move to Manchester United is the only concern. But if I had to select between Rafinha, who is almost priced at 45 million, and whereas Anthony is priced at about 50 million, in fact, Rafinha is also valued between 45 to 60 million, and I think a decent price for Rafinha would be about 45 million, and would be the same for Anthony as well for me. But if I had to go between Anthony and Rafinha, for me, in my opinion, would be Rafinha, because yes, he is proven. I think he is more of a goal threat than Anthony is as well, and I think it would be a safer option and much less of a risk than going for Anthony, because he has been at the Dutch league, whereas Rafinha has been playing at the Prem and definitely is a classy player. I'm a little worried about Rafinha as well, because he is being linked to Liverpool, and we've seen what happens when players we approach for have been linked to Liverpool. And one such example is Darwin Nunez, who had been linked to United and ultimately ended up as a Liverpool player quite as a Liverpool player. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Rafinha this summer. In my opinion, like I told you, if I had to select between these two, it would be Rafinha for me. But I do think United would go for Anthony because I do see more links and rumors on Anthony rather than Rafinha, because I do think these two players are quite very similar as well. The only difference is that uh, Anthony has been playing at Ajax at Netherlands, has been playing in the Dutch league. But the advantage we have with Anthony is that he has worked with Erik ten Hag, whereas Rafinha hasn't worked with Erik ten Hag, but he does have that but he is prem proven. Now, apart from Anthony, United also have been linked to Sangare, like I did tell you as well. The interesting thing about Sangare, like I did tell you, he is that he does not seem to be the type of transfer United would go for, because United are more known to go for players who are more recognized and has that high profile in them, and you know has that big profile in them. I could say yes, that's pretty much what United do go for. They don't go for players out of their box, out of their uh, out of their tradition, like they have been, like the Liverpools, like the cities, where they go for players from Portugal, Spain, players who are not recognized, and then build them into world class players like the likes of Fabinho and Rodri. So if it's a defensive midfield, it'll be interesting to see who United would go for. We did see reports come out and say that Ralph Rangnick did advise Manchester United to go for Edward Chouameni. Now the thing with Chouameni is, even if Manchester United did heed to Ralph Rangnick's advice, what I would say is that I think Chouameni would opt for Real Madrid over Manchester United, definitely, because Real Madrid is definitely a bigger club than United and seem to be more of a footballing club than United, while United seem to be more of a business club. And just like Louis Van Gaal did say, I'm afraid for Erik ten Hag because he is moving to a business club and not a football club. And considering transfer news, that's pretty much it. United and bringing you another update, the latest update. This is Anthony and Frank India look like two definite rivals at Manchester United Football Club this summer. Now, this is from the United source. In fact, the United stand and the source being Alex Crook from Talksport, which is also a very reliable uh, source. Apart from that, we also have senior figures at Manchester United are already frustrated. They are already getting criticized for lack of progress with the transfer window only opening last Friday. Please, man. You know, other teams, the likes of Liverpool and Manchester City, got deals done even before the transfer window was open. And then you have, senior figures at Manchester United are already frustrated that they are already getting criticized for lack of progress with the transfer window only open on last Friday, May. If you are a competent club, you would have approached players and got the deal done behind the scenes. And once the transfer window is open, you would have got those papers signed and got the deals over the line. So please keep these excuses aside. At the moment, what seems to be going on with Manchester United is that transfers doesn't seem to be getting done, just being linked to players, approaching players, and all that, and bringing up excuses for their incompetentness in not getting these deals done over the line. Now, the De Jong deal seems to be very much like the Rafael Varane deal as well, where United were linked to Varane, and really sorry about that. United were linked to Varane, and we did see many fans come out with posters, these tweets and all come up. That hype was there, and gradually, along with time, since United did take time to get that deal done, the hype did go down. And once the deal was actually done, it was not much of a big deal. You also saw it with Ralph Rangnick. Rangnick was appointed as the manager but did not come to England, and there were problems there. And after about 2 to 3 weeks, United then officially announced Ralph Rangnick once he did come to England and sign the papers. And that seems to be the story with Frankie de Jong as well. Been linked since ages, since United were born. United were linked with Frankie de Jong, and the deal just doesn't seem to be getting over the line as well. And I hope and pray it doesn't be the same along the likes of Timber if we do go for him, which we are linked, who we are linked to, and who did play well for the Netherlands as well, and the likes of Anthony and other transfer targets. Considering transfer news, that's pretty much it, folks. So do send in your opinions, anything you've got related to Manchester United on that live chat as well. And yes, do go follow us on our socials, on Instagram, especially at the united.forum for your latest Manchester United news. We'll keep you updated there throughout the week as well. And for tonight's show, that's pretty much it. That's a wrap up for tonight's show. And until I see you next Friday, and in fact, if you are new to the channel, do give us a subscribe, smash a like on the video, and do share this video around as well, and do get us a few subscribers. Let's hit that 200 mark as soon as possible as well. We've got a few upgrades coming on the show as well, so yes, give us a little bit of time to get a few along with time. I'm holding things right at the moment is because I've got my advanced level examinations coming up in October as well, so I'm holding things. But yes, once I get that done, I would definitely bring a few improvements on this show as well. We'll have a few guests in as well. So until then, do be patient with us and do bear with us as well. And yes, stay safe. The situation in the country is definitely not that good. Monday tomorrow, the good news tomorrow is that it is a national holiday, so do enjoy your long week off as well, long weekend off, considering Saturday, Sunday, Monday, tomorrow, and also Tuesday being holiday as well. So enjoy your holiday, short stay at home, and yes, stay home, stay safe. Situation in the country doesn't seem to be getting any good anytime soon as well. So yes, until I see you next week for the next show, do stay tuned with us. Follow us on Instagram at the United Forum. Smash a like on that like button. Give us a subscribe and share the video around as well. Until I see you next Friday at 10 p.m. for the next transfer show. This is the United Forum.